Greetings, travelers!
Greetings, travelers!
Greetings, travelers!
Oh, the gang's all here.
Well, not the whole gang because we don't have Carrie,
Oh,
but most
Carrie's
of the gang.
busy drawing. So
yeah, 75% of the gang is here.
yes.
So, which is
That was some
badass.
good math there, Erica.
Thank you.
Well done. So
You know, every now and then I can do the maths. Don't tell anybody because we know how bad I am normally at the maths. But today we get to do another one of my favorite episodes, which is Listener Tales.
oh my God, we are trying so hard to catch up, but you guys keep sending us more and more. And I'm not saying slow down because these are amazing. This is where we get some of our best stuff. And we get to send teams to investigate some of these. And we have some follow-ups coming up from some of our earliest listener tales. Not just teasing because we're still in the early stages on this, but a couple of these have led into full investigations and have turned into some awesome stuff. So can't wait to tell you more about that.
And we get to scare Erica. And that's fun.
Yes.
Yes. And I know when we begin here, this first one is a long one. All I've seen is how long it is. Mark, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll start. But again, thank you all so much for sending them. Keep them coming. We will keep doing these as long as you keep sending them and we get reviews. You guys love them. So please feedback on all your platforms of choice. Let us know, if you're enjoying these, whatever. I think these are some of our best. So, and every person who talks to us, they all love these. So enjoy. Let's just sit back and enjoy some spooky tales. We're just going to jump right into it because we got a lot to get through. And all right, here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right. Almost 4 months ago, we moved in. And the first night we were here, I kept seeing a dog like the same size as a golden retriever or a white cat or a black cat out of the corner of my eye. The black cat seems mischievous, and I'm always jumping back to stop myself from stepping on it before realizing I don't have any pets. The white cat...
Yeah. Sorry. I freaked out, but laughing. Okay, sorry.
I get that. I'm like, yeah. The white cat walks past doorways very gently or jumps down from counters very unmenacingly, but neither of the cats or the dogs have felt threatening or made us feel really uneasy at all. After a while of that, I've only seen the white cat, I believe. My boyfriend has only started hearing footsteps through the house. I don't necessarily believe that there is or isn't magic or ghosts. I tend to believe that I am naive and I don't know what's out there, and I don't really have any way of ever knowing for sure what's true and what isn't. So I'll participate in tarot or crystals or saging, and I believe the psychological benefits of those matters to you, and normally would have that perspective. And I feel that that's what they work to fit any given situation for any given person. I believe crystals work because if you know what they are meant to signify, then you will want to wear them or think on them. It's constant affirmations for yourself. All in all, I believe all of it can work. It's not because magic, then because of mind over matter. Intention, as Mark likes to say. There you go. Thank you. Anyway, about a month and a half to 2 months ago, I saged the house and I hadn't seen or heard anything for a while until I started seeing that black cat again under my feet all the time. And I started seeing the white cat again. And now my fiance and I are always seeing human-sized shadow figures or hearing footsteps. I see a tall, hunched-over figure that stands in my bathroom doorway and stares at me, nearly bumping his head on the top of the frame. But you can tell that it's hunched over, and that's the only reason it doesn't.
Nope. I'm out. I'm already out of this. I'm done.
That's such a creepy visual. The idea of any like disfigurement in that kind of like really obvious way of a ghost is yucky.
No, I'm out. I was willing to kind of do the cat thing, the shadow.
They're like, cats are cute. That's fine.
Shadow
turn it down.
Shadow pet's okay. Shadow people, Erika nopes. All right.
No.
I mean, I could use a shadow pet. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Could I get extra dogs out of my husband if I say they're a ghost?
It's a shadow. It's a shadow cat.
It's a shadow cat. It's fine.
I didn't buy 3 more cats. You're just seeing things. All right, but anyway, let's see. Then I'll also see a creepy hand about 3 foot down from where I see the eyes peering at me.
No.
But every time I look directly at it, it vanishes. Multiple times my partner has said, did someone just walk down the hallway? I saw a medium height man just walk in the hallway, but all I could see was his feet for a split second. And both of us have heard our baby crying when she's with her grandparents or our 4-year-old calling for us from her room when she's not at home.
That happens to me all the time. I think that's just being a mom.
That could be echoes. Yeah. And we hear each other call each other for us by name from the same room or otherwise. It's the same area of the house in which we mostly see the white cat and the figures and hear the footsteps. It's just been so bizarre, and it's starting getting to the point where we feel like we're going insane. Oh, there's the ghost dog. I was thinking a lot about it, and we don't really watch horror movies, and I never have the opportunity to watch like true crime stuff or spooky stuff that I enjoy because of my 4-year-old who is easily startled, and nothing particularly scary ever happens to trigger any feelings of fear that might trigger an overactive imagination like that. It always happens when we least expect it, and we'll just kind of be hanging out and enjoying each other's company, doing a chore or something unrelated to anything spooky, and it just happens. And then it immediately shifts the entire feeling throughout the house. And we both immediately get really jumpy and paranoid and feel like we have to be on the defensive. We both have trauma of something breaking and entering from before we ever started dating or hanging out. Totally unrelated incidents in totally different months, years. So maybe that could be it. And I can't really speak for how much it's bothering him, aside from the times that I see him get freaked out about it. And for me, I never really have that kind of an issue. The last time I ever had an issue, I was working in a daycare, and I would randomly see kids walk up to me and go to put my hand on their head or just to look up and see that kid across the room, but then no one's standing next to me at all and not hearing. And sometimes I hear a crying child from my daughter's car seat when I'm the only one in the car, etc. But that daycare job was extremely overwhelming and stressful. So I always assumed that it was just because of how psychological and emotionally and physically draining that job was. We haven't really had any big issues like that. Sure, we've had a few issues because we have a baby 2 weeks after moving in, and we have a 4-year-old who's still trying to regulate her emotions. And that's pretty typical. Nothing extreme. Not extreme enough to cause like full-blown psychotic break or anything, right? No, I don't think you're having a psychotic break.
No.
I just don't know what to think anymore. I've been contemplating saging again, but I prefer to do that when my kids are not at home so that I don't accidentally burn them or bother them with the smoke. I'm not just really sure what else to do, though. The only thing I could think of is if it's true that people can bring in bad energy, it could be from his dad visiting the house, because it all started happening again shortly after his dad visited to help me with a flat tire. His dad isn't a good person, extremely abusive, and used to put loaded guns to everyone's faces when he was mad and thought his wife was going to leave or if his kids got a grade lower than an A in school. But like that aside, from that, he hasn't been here in 2 months. He doesn't talk to my fiance unless absolutely necessary, and only came to help me with the tire because his wife forced him to. I don't know. I just figured I'd share with you all to see if anybody or you know of anybody who had some more similar experiences and what they found out about it, or if you have any suggestions. Lily.
Oh, Lily.
Wow, Lily.
Yeah, first of all, Lily, you are not having a psychotic break. You're not going crazy. It sounds like to me that there is some energy in and around your house. I don't know that saging necessarily kind of does what we want it to. Again, it's intention. But what I'm going to suggest is this. I think you should get some railroad spikes and put them at the 4 corners of your house on the outside.
Iron, yeah.
I also think you should look at getting some of the crystals we've talked about in our previous episodes and put them at the entranceways, including you can put like an upside down horseshoe which is a good luck sign, right? At the front and back doors. And I would go through your entire house, you and your other half combined, and just let the house know that this is what's okay with you and what's not okay. Like the kitties can stay, but hunch guy in the doorway needs to leave, right? That's what I would recommend, is putting your intentions verbally out there, because it sounds to me like you are very have a lot of empathy. I think you're, an empath, honestly, whether you acknowledge that yourself or not, because I understand what you're seeing. And throughout my life, I've had to figure out what's real and what's not in the physical universe with me. Mm-hmm. So I think you're just very in touch with it. And yeah, if negative people come around, sometimes they can bring stuff, but usually they take it with them when they leave. Usually it's around them. So those are my suggestions. Mark, Bo, what are your suggestions?
Bo?
I mean, I think that some of that sounded like not horrible and like fine, but then there's like, it's amping up emotions also. So I feel like there's something going on that's like making them feel more paranoid and anxious and upset in the house, more so than just like the ghosties. Like the ghosties don't seem like much of a problem because they're, out of your corner of your eye, you're just like, oh, but there seems like it's developed into there being this feeling attached to it, whether they've created it because they've gotten nervous or something in the house is causing that, like her father-in-law. It definitely sounds like they should look into ways to reduce their anxiety. And if crystals and saging does that for them, I think that's great.
I think it sounds like a baby fearmonger. That this is because that's amping up that sense of dread, that sense of paranoia, that sense of this. And it's just hasn't learned what gets you yet. It's trying. That's what scares me about this. This sounds like something building.
It does seem to be escalating.
This is an infestation that's getting worse. So yeah, it's definitely escalating. We will get you a team, Lily. Just reach out. Let us know where. We'll find somebody to come out and help. And it might just be documenting. Again, they might just document what you're seeing and all that. It could be nothing, but better safe than sorry.
But documenting is therapeutic too, because it helps her see that it's not just her. Yep. It's not paranoia. It's not a psychotic break. It's actually
and it's not a shared psychotic break. That's that's definitely. And again, you don't know if your 4-year-old is experiencing stuff worse and isn't telling you. That's what scares me about this. It could be this is the level that's affecting them, and it's trying to affect you too. So there's a lot of things here to unpack, Lily. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, please, and one last thing, reach out to Serenity Jenny. We posted about her, and she maybe can give you some insight as to what's going on too.
She has contacts as well, or Phyllis, Cesar. There's a lot of others out there that would be happy to help. So
yes, exactly.
Or just reach out to us again. Let us know where and when you need help. We're happy to help. So
agreed.
All right.
Okay, next one.
All right. Wow, that starts us off, man.
Wow, that really does. Okay,
all right.
Here we go. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
I genuinely think my grandmother is psychic and doesn't fully know it. Well, that's cool.
I love that. That
happens.
That's such a good premise.
Very true.
My grandma tells me these stories, and honestly, I find them hard to believe. But what reason would this 71-year-old woman have to lie to me about such insane things?
There you go.
She told me about how one day she was going on a road trip with her family, and she had a vision of a plane making an emergency landing that crushes their car. So she demanded her mother press on the brakes, and lo and behold, a plane makes an emergency landing right in front of them. She also tells me how her friend from work one day told her she was pregnant. My grandmother was able to tell them it was going to be a redheaded girl and the name would start with an M. Lo and behold, his wife gives birth to a baby girl, full head of bright red hair, and they decided on the name Mary. Even outside of that, her intuition about people is insane. Every friend that I've had a bad falling out with, she didn't like and had a bad feeling from the start. When my dad, her son, went to jail, my mother knew he was in trouble hours before she was told. She's also known something was up every other time more recently that he's gotten in trouble. She had a dreadful feeling about 2.5 weeks ago as something horrible was going to happen. And about 2 days after that dreadful feeling started, we got notified my little cousin died. Oh, she's always been that way. And I know there's a part of it that could easily be a healthy dose of mother's intuition, but I've always had a feeling she was psychic. I'm totally open to other possibilities, though. The one idea, at least I'm ready to hear out, however, is that she blatantly, purposely lied. I really don't think she would do that. Luna. Well, hello, Luna.
Hi, Luna. What a great story. Oh, my
And
God.
it sounds like your grandma's a badass. I'm just going to throw that out there.
She's in touch with a higher power of some sort. So
Absolutely.
yeah, whether
Absolutely.
psychic or intuitive, like you said, it could just be really heightened mother's intuition, just like
I was gonna say she's the matriarch who is matriarching, like she is on it.
That sounds like what would be a leader of a Romani caravan. She would be the elder woman that tells you what you got to do and who you're going to marry and all that. She's a wise woman, and there's a reason we love our granny magic and our Appalachian magic and our Romani and all that fun. Oh my gosh, you've got a powerful lady there, and
it sounds like a genius.
I would love to meet her and talk to her and see what feeling she has about me and Erika.
I'm actually a little nervous to hear that. So
she'd love Bo, but us, she might have some feelings about it.
We're up for debate. Yes.
Oh my gosh, Luna, thank you so much, and we'd love to meet her. Sounds like an awesome lady. Enjoy every moment you can with her. That's all I'm going to say.
Agreed. Wow.
All right.
Okay, Mark.
All right, back to me. It's another semi-long one, it looks like. So here we go. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
I hope you all are well and enjoying the holiday season. I met Mark for the first time at MegaCon and realized he was the author of a very eerie, spooky, and freaky book series about Florida that I had read and loved. Well, thank you. At MegaCon in 2022, he might remember the wild Eevee that appeared. It was me. I was the wild Eevee. After one of the paranormal panels, and presented him with a tale about my grandfather seeing a UFO in Scotland back in 1955. Yes, I do remember that, which is crazy because I don't remember anything. No. But I am here today to speak of another family member and of an unusual yet profound experience that I had and will never forget. Well, thank you for sharing. Let's see. I moved to Pennsylvania recently, but lived and worked in Orlando area for almost 30 years. I was a cast member at the Walt Disney World parks for approximately 12 years. So Disney played a huge role in my life. Of course, everyone knows that Disney is the happiest place on earth. Yeah. And while I agree with that for the most part, as a cast member, there are simply days when the pixie dust is lacking. Ain't that the truth? Yes, we've all have our mouse stories. Let's see. On this particular day, I was having a really tough time. It was one of those days where anything and everything that could go wrong did, and it accumulated into a breakdown and tears in the back of our theater. I cried softly, feeling completely overwhelmed, but I forced myself to get it together. The show, as they say, must go on. It was as I slowly and solemnly made my way up to the podium in the dimly lit theater, waiting for the film to finish so I could exit this group of guests out and welcome the next group in, when something surprising happened to me. As I approached the podium, in my head, the words, "It'll be okay, pet," came into my mind. I was perplexed, and it gently made me pause. I didn't hear a voice, but those thoughts were obviously not my own. Nobody at home, or anyone I know for that matter, had ever called me pet. And well, I certainly wouldn't call myself that. Needless to say, I was very confused by this, but I got through the rest of my shift without further incident. When I got home that evening, I was talking with my mom when I asked her if my grandma Mary, my mom's mother, had ever called her pet. My mom was taken by surprise as I asked that, but she answered that yes, my grandmother called her pet quite often. My grandmother was from Scotland, and pet is a very British and Scottish term of endearment. I unfortunately never really got to know my grandmother Mary, as she died from a brain tumor when I was only 2 years old. And yet I have always felt her presence and have often thought of her as being my guardian angel. I don't think I could have asked for any better confirmation of that than I received that night. I've had a few more paranormal experiences to share, including one about Chillingham Castle in England, of which I'm sure Erika will nope out of pretty quickly. But I'll save that for another time as they are quite long. Thank you guys for all you do. The podcast is always informing and entertaining, and I look forward to each new episode. Have a warm and wonderful holiday season, Kirsty.
Well, you too, Christy. And I want to know about it. I love castle stories, so send it right away.
Chillingham is on my bucket list. It was one of the ones I sadly missed on my trip to Europe. And if I could go back, that would be the one I would go to. So, oh man.
Well,
talk about fearmonger. Chillingham's like king of the fearmongers. But it does sound like you've got a friendly spirit that wanted to say hi.
And that is not a ghost playing. That's not a cosplay ghost to me. See, that's one of those things where something is confirmed without you asking. The ghost initiates, spirit, whatever it is, initiates the communication.
Yep. Agreed. And again, you didn't know. So there's no way you could have made that up. And then you have verification. So there you go. You've literally had an experience and proved it. Preternatural right there.
Whoop, whoop. Go preternatural. But yes, send more stories. I love it.
And it was nice meeting you. And you made a darling Evie. Thank you.
Yes, I love the EVs. I love the EVs. Okay, and that's from Pokemon listeners, travelers. If you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, it is a Pokemon thing. So
one of Carrie's favorites. So.
Yes, one of the cutest Pokemon.
Very true. Very true. Okay, here we go. Hello, Mark and travelers. Well, hello. Why isn't it Mark, Erika, Bo, and Carrie and travelers? But whatever. I'm moving on.
We're all travelers. It's all good.
Yes. One time I have seen two red sort of glowing eyes staring, and then heard one of your listener tale episodes, and you said these two girls saw the same thing, and you said it was the Mothman. Next, a lot of the time I dream, I predict the future, but only throw my eyes in only a few months or less, and then it happens, and you said that in another tale. Mark, can you please read this? And thank you for the book, Werewolves Hate Ghosts Because They Taste Like Sheets. Stay spooky, Archer.
Oh, Archer. We met Archer in Tampa. They are one of our fans. Archer is awesome. And I'm sorry I haven't given you a shout out before, Archer. Archer, their mom is an amazing person who gives away my books to people who buy houses in the Tampa Bay area.
Get them a little spooked after they move into a Tampa house.
To go to the spooky places. And Archer, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you saw Mothman. So that's pretty cool.
Me too. Archer is awesome.
Yeah, red-eyed cryptids are all over the place, and keep your eyes open, and then good luck predicting the future.
Yes.
So, let us know if you can get that tuned in, and you get like some stock picks, lottery numbers, or anything else useful. We're good. But also let us know,
shoot us an email.
Yeah, any warnings? We'd love to hear it. So keep up the great work and good hunting. Stay safe, traveler.
Exactly. Okay, Mark.
Okay, another good beefy one. Here we go. Years ago, early 1990s, my wife and I rented a home in Kansas City through a lawyer who represented an elderly lady who had returned to where she grew up in Iowa following her husband's passing. One evening while I was home alone, I was putting away towels in a linen closet in the upstairs hallway directly across from the bathroom. While I was in the closet, I had this strange feeling I was being watched from behind. I turned around and thought I saw an elderly gentleman. Yeah.
I'm out.
Oh, we've been a young hot guy, you'd have been fine with it, right? But
no, I don't need anybody.
She doesn't want any guys around
Alexander Skarsgård.
I mean,
okay. If he was, I'm fine.
Okay. If he had a friendly look on his face, she might be okay.
It totally freaked me out, but the whole thing was so strange I didn't say anything to my wife for fear of her laughing at me or potentially even scaring her. A few months later, I'm downstairs watching football on a Sunday afternoon, and she's upstairs putting away towels in the linen closet when she screams and comes running downstairs. I ask her what happens. She tells me that while she was putting away the towels, she felt like she was being watched. And she turned around and thought she saw an old man standing there. She was shaking.
Yep. Burn it down. Burn
Well,
it
don't
down.
do laundry. That's the key here.
That's the note. Yeah. As I was comforting her, I told her the story of my extremely similar experience that I had been too creeped out to share with her for the reasons I mentioned above. The next time I dropped off a rent check at the lawyer's office, I asked him if by any chance he might share with me how the owner's husband had passed away. He told me the gentleman had suffered a massive heart attack at home and had died by the time the paramedics arrived. He then asked me why I'd inquired about it, and I told him he wouldn't believe the story if I told him, but that I had a strangely odd premonition that the man had died in the home and left it at that. Fast forward a few months. We returned home one evening to find out we had arrived to a burglary in progress.
Oh, no.
4 guys came running out of that house, arms full, jumped into a van on the side street, house was on the corner, and drove away. The insurance claim ended up being about $16,000, a fair amount considering this is the 90s. After the final settlement check arrived, my insurance company canceled our insurance, and my agent told me the only thing she could tell me was to move. She wouldn't say nothing more than that.
Weird.
4 months later, we had gone to bed very early and all the lights were off in the house, and we were awoken by another attempted break-in through the same entrance used for the first robbery. It stopped when we turned the lights on. We made some demands on the lawyer for door and lock improvements, as well as extra outdoor lighting and security system. The estimates were received were about $2,400. We offered to split the cost. We spoke with the owner and they declined to split the cost, but told that his wife were free to do any of the work ourselves, which we declined. We terminated the lease and moved out. The home re-rented very quickly. It's a cute house, cute neighborhood, just too close to a less desirable area. And so we were fortunate that we only lost our security deposit. As it turns out, 2 young female lawyers had rented the house after us. After about 9 months later, I received a phone call one evening from a woman asking me if I had lived at the address. I told her I had and asked her how she had got my number. Turns out some mail with my name had arrived despite the forwarding order, and she only had to match the name in the Kansas City phone book. Phone books were a thing, gang. She began to explain her story, which is that she and her partner had been robbed 3 times in the past 9 months. And in their subsequent arguments with the lawyer representing the landlord, he'd let it slip that they must have been talking with the prior tenants when they presented a very similar set of demands for improvements. And that's why she tracked me down. During our conversation, she mentioned that they were constantly creeped out after moving in between the burglaries and the feeling that they were being watched all the time. And I said, watched? Really? By who? And she said, an old creepy guy.
Okay. So we
Anonymous.
need to burn the house down immediately. Just burn it.
Well, they don't live there anymore, so they are free of
And
this.
No, but it doesn't matter. Somebody just needs to take that.
The 4 young lawyers there. It sounds like an overseas case because they kept talking about lawyers and the renting and all that. I'm not sure. This is an anonymous, so we don't know. But we'd love to send a team to investigate if you want to reach back out and just kind of
give us the address. Yeah.
We can see if there's some history there and all that. We can get a team out, or nothing else. I can just do some research and find out who owned the house and the full story.
Wow.
Oh man, that's creepy. I love it.
Very creepy.
I don't sounds like the guy just likes to watch. Doesn't sound like he's doing anything.
Which is creepy, Mark.
I'm worried about the robberies.
What you just said and recognize how creepy that sounds.
Hey,
No.
Did you ever see Dogma? Did you ever see Dogma?
Yes.
I have.
Chris Rock he's the dead, not undead. He's the dead, and he says, "You know what we do? We watch the living, especially when they're in the shower." So
super creepy. Moving on.
Well, before that, we should take a quick break.
Oh yeah, we're getting close. So
Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back. Here we are. Woot. Okay, so let's see. Next. Okay, so this just happened, but basically I was watching YouTube with headphones on my laptop. I got bored, turned it off, and took my phone just to scroll a bit on social media. Then I started hearing this very heavy breathing near my bed. No, I don't like this either. I didn't move for like a solid minute to see if I was tripping, but the heavy breathing continued. I lift my bed up, no one is there. I check my wardrobe, nobody to see. Then it stopped, but I swear the noise was coming from near my bed. This is also not the first time something strange like this has happened. Another time I was up studying late. When I finished, I turned my lights off and went to lay in bed. The second I was in bed, I started hearing noises from my desk like somebody was fumbling with plastic. This happened like 3 times in the span of a month. And the last time it happened, I said a quick prayer and it stopped, but I saw a small dark shadow get up and walk away from behind my chair. No.
Well, I thought it was a mouse, and now I don't think a mouse
I was
would be a big figure.
or something like that early on. I'm like, all right, this one we can explain.
Because lots of mice do heavy breathing. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. You don't know if they have pneumonia.
Okay. Another thing I have also experienced, this is not ending yet, so here we go. I'm 19, by the way, and I work at a college as a cleaner after school. Anyways, whenever I clean the 3rd top floor, I have this eerie feeling like I'm being watched and feel there's a negative presence there. Sometimes I think I'm seeing a dark shadow, but that could also be because of my bad eyesight. I don't know, gang. I feel like I'm going crazy with all that's been going on lately. I've been living in the house for 6+ years and never experienced such things until this year. Apollo.
Wow.
Well, Apollo, I heavily recommend that you get a little iron thing and bring it right into your room there, because
and maybe a mouse trap, just to be sure.
Yeah.
To be safe. Yeah. Peanut butter and a mousetrap. Yeah.
A humane mousetrap.
But now feeling presences, stuff like that happens. I think some people are just like we've discussed. Some people are more in tune than others, and you might be awakening. That might be why you didn't feel anything for 6 years, and now it's starting. You're 19. That does seem to be late teenage is when a lot of these things happen. Sometimes early teens, sometimes late teens, late bloomers, and all that. Some people don't get until they're in their middle ages, and start suddenly developing the ability to see and hear things that they've tuned out their whole life. So just sounds like there's a doorway opening. Just be careful it doesn't get knocked off its hinges. Just take it easy.
And I would say when you go to that 3rd floor with the creepy thing, just literally say, "Get away from me, and you're not allowed to come home with me."
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is my recommendation.
I'm here in your place working because I have no choice. So
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt your evening, but I have to sweep in here.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thanks, Apollo. Good luck. Keep us posted. Let's see. All right. I work in the heart of northeastern Kentucky. Without giving my exact location of where I work, the location can best be described as if you were on a map and drew a straight line from Grayson to Ashland. It would be slightly south of the line, but halfway. Oh, I know that area well.
Oh.
That's not too far from Louisa. I work on campus style area that was once a place for troubled youth and orphans. Ooh. 2 stories from where I work I want to share with you today.
Okay.
First is my office. My office is in the old high school building, and not much on the short history of the building would explain what I have heard and seen. There are times I work late and may be the last person in a school. As I'm working in my office, I will sometimes hear someone knock on the door that opens into the hallway. To give it a bit of reference, from that hallway, you have to enter the office in order to get to the door to my office. So my office at one time was the principal's office. However, for about a couple of months, just randomly, I would hear someone knocking or either at the door to the office in front of me or the door next to my office. I would go and check. There'd be no one in the entire school. One afternoon, I had a client in my office, and as I was getting things ready for a meeting with my client, he and I both heard the knock. I didn't say anything when I heard the knock, but the client did, and that gave me reassurance that I haven't been hearing things. One evening when I was home and I realized I left my laptop at work and needed it for the weekend, My wife and I drove to the campus, and when I got to the campus, I went to the nurses station to let everyone know I was on campus and would be in the high school. I didn't need anyone getting alarmed when they saw lights on late at night in the school. I get to the school, unlock the door. As I was getting ready to walk to the left towards my office, I noticed a figure of a man standing at the far end of the main hallway.
Yeah.
I said the name of who I thought it was. They looked at me, and I started walking in their direction. As I got closer, they walked on past the hallway and down the next hallway. As I turned the corner, I could see this person looking over their shoulder at me. As I followed them around another corner and was beginning to get closer, they turned left at the far end of the hallway, and as I did, there was nothing there. I checked the bathroom, all the doors at the end of the hallway, no one was there. If they went outside, an alarm would have sounded. I went back to the far end of the other end of the school, to my office, got my laptop, locked the school up, not to hear or see anyone the rest of the time I was there.
There really seems to be something about schools.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of energy at a school.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions and other things. I can't imagine. All right, so the other story came from a colleague. She said she drove up to the other nurses station near the school, but closer to the male cottages. She got out of her car and noticed a dark figure with red and white eyes looking down at her from a second-story window that was from a bedroom. She said she stood there staring back at the figure, and nothing else happened except it disappeared with when a client came to the window to open the window. She said it was eerie, but she says she's seen it a couple of times from that same window now. Scott.
Wow.
Scott. Sounds like
you are a brave soul, because I would have noped out of that situation so early on.
I want to know how long it was. Like, how was he following it for 30 seconds? Was he following it for minutes?
Like a couple hallways there.
Yeah, so I'm like, it must have been for a while. Was he calling out? Was the thing ignoring him?
Leading you on a journey there, trying to show you something. Again, I don't think any of this is very menacing. None of this sounds threatening. It sounds like something's trying to let you know it's there. It's knocking. Yeah. So I don't know if this is a scary thing or if it's just, again, something we don't understand. Somebody's trying to communicate. But
yeah, it doesn't sound very scary, but I don't need things knocking on my door when I'm staying late at night. Yeah. So I'm good to hard pass on that.
Yeah, and that area is a hot spot. It's one of the things in our second book coming out. So is that area. So yeah, I think I know where you're talking about. I'm not going to say it, but I think I know what troubled home you're talking about there. So
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Next. Greetings, travelers from the UK, to my favorite podcast.
Oh,
wow.
Cool.
Greetings.
And you have excellent taste.
Okay. I love the UK. You know I do. Okay. Yeah. I know this was probably a sleep hallucination, but it seems so real. It was really weird. It's been playing on my mind all day. Okay. Late last night, I suddenly woke up. I sat up trying to work out what had woken me up, and I heard my wife downstairs calling my name. We sleep in a loft room. I'm about to get out of bed and go to see what she wants when I realize she's fast asleep next to me. Oh,
I hate that.
I get back into bed and ignore the voice until it goes away. The house is an old Tudor pub. It's 500 years old, and we've never had particularly odd experiences in the 4 years that we lived there until now. It seemed very real. I'm not prone to vivid dreams. I sat up in bed making sure I was awake. It was really creepy. See you on the other side, Jim. Well, Jim, most of the time when things call out your name, you did the exact right thing and do not acknowledge them and do not do that. So who knows?
No, this happened to me today.
Really?
Oh my God, I just remembered. I was in my house and I was waiting for my mother to come over, and I heard somebody call my name, like yelled my name. And I thought, oh, my mom needs help in the garage. Surely I will go out there and she'll be like waiting for me. So I walked out there and I go, because I could hear her car coming because the dogs were freaking out. And I was like, did you call my name? And she's like, no, like I did not. And as you guys know, my actual name is quite a bit longer
Then
So it's not, it's like 3 syllables. So I was like, what is happening? What is happening?
Wow.
So, but I did the wrong thing and went to investigate. So
well,
Well,
that's
have
still the
fun
right
with
thing.
whatever that is.
I think that's what I think. But oh my gosh, yeah, no, I think Jim, I'd love to know which pub that you're in. 400, 500 years of history is awesome. I mean, here in America, we talk
we
about
don't have that.
we
Yeah.
have buildings that are over 200 years old. Oh wow, and St. Augustine's got some old buildings and stuff, but still, you guys have all the history. So
Yeah, you guys have where the history actually comes from as far as that goes. So
yeah. Jealous. So have a pint on us, and thanks for listening. Oh my gosh. So
cool. Okay, Mark, it's over to you, my friend.
all right. This happened when I was around 10 years old, and I still can't explain it. As background, the upstairs level of our house had a small landing with 4 rooms in close proximity to the stairs. My parents' room on the right, a bathroom straight ahead, and me and my sister's rooms on the left. One day, I was standing in the bathroom getting ready when from the corner of my eye, I noticed what appeared to be a large black creature on the stairs. I turned to look directly at it and saw a huge, fluffy black dog bounding up the stairs.
Oh, cute.
We didn't have a dog at the time, but our neighbors did have a big black Newfoundland named Schooner. Anyway, I watched the dog run upstairs and turn right into my parents' room. I assumed Schooner had somehow gotten into our house, and I was worried about our cats. So I ran out of the room, slammed my parents' door, trapping the dog in the room. Then I stood on the landing and calling for my mom, yelling, "Mom, help, I trapped a huge dog in your room. I think it might be Schooner." Seconds later, she came upstairs. We stood on the landing next to the closed door while I explained what happened. She told me to stay there. She then opened the door, walked in, closed it behind her. About a minute later, she came out with a cynical look on her face and said, "Very funny." I looked at her confused, and I said, "What do you mean?" She's like, "There's no dog in there." I couldn't believe it. I told her that was impossible. Then I ran into the room, searched everywhere. My mom was right. No dog in that room. We were on the second floor. Windows were screened and closed. From the moment I slammed the door until I searched the room, I was standing beside the only exit. There's no way the dog could have escaped without me seeing it. My mom shrugged it off, still suspicious that I was playing a trick on her. She eventually blamed it on my overactive imagination. But it's the only time in my life I've physically seen something that wasn't there, and I know I didn't imagine it. To this day, I have no clue what happened. Was it a one-time hallucination for no apparent reason? Was it a ghost? Glitch in the Matrix? Did I cross from one plane of existence into another? I'm a rational person who always looks for rational, evidence-based explanations, and I can almost always find one, but I cannot find any rational explanation for that experience. A friend told me to share this with you all as you've discussed things like this before. Gina.
Well, hello, Gina.
Hello, Gina. That could be a lot of the things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Including, it could have been something just that you saw that you've never seen before since. Could be a hallucination. Could have been a ghost. Could have been a glitch in the Matrix. All of the things.
Yeah.
I don't think you glitched into another plane of existence. Maybe the dog did. Maybe it was alternate Schooner. Yeah.
No, it's true because it's kind of, we don't understand how these dimension shifting alternate universe things work. We have no idea. Physics is proving they're there,
Yep.
right? But we don't know how they work. So maybe it shifted and then it shifted back, and your mom's like, "Cute, that's adorable."
Yep. But
if it is a ghost, that is the cutest kind of ghost, and that's the kind of ghost.
Big fluffy dog.
Ghost. Yeah. That seems nice. Like, it doesn't seem like an angry
like a hellhound
ghost
or anything. There was no smell or anything like that. You would have mentioned that or anything. So it's just big creature. And again, preternatural stuff we don't understand. Mm-hmm. You had an experience that we can't explain. That's exactly the point of all this, Gina. So hopefully you're enjoying the show, and hopefully, good luck.
And thank you for your story. We love it.
Yeah. Especially
Bo and Callie, ghost dogs,
Ghost dogs, they are 100% behind that. So, all right.
So here I go. When I was a teenager, I used to drive my little siblings home from elementary school. I would get out of high school around 2:30. I'd drive to the elementary school down the street, sit in my car, and wait in the parking lot until the kids got out of class at 3 p.m. I would wait until the bell rang and all the kids ran out of the building, and I'd meet my siblings on the playground. One day, I'm sitting in my car waiting for them to come out, and I hear a bell ring, but nobody leaves the school. I get out of my car, and I'm looking around, but there's no one in sight. No parents on the playground to pick up their kids, no other cars to pick up drop-off line. I peek through my window of my little brother's classroom, and it's completely empty and the lights are off. I'm so confused. I have no idea where everyone is. I call my mom to confirm they were at school today and needed a ride. She calls the school in a panic trying to find them, but the teacher says they're both sitting right there in the office waiting to get picked up. I ran inside and saw them waiting for me, annoyed. The teacher stood there waiting on the playground for 10 minutes for someone to pick them up before taking them back inside. I tried explaining I was there the whole time, but didn't see anyone. I have no explanation for what happened, Savannah. Well, Savannah, that does sound like a glitch in the Matrix. And
that sounds weird.
You jumped in time.
Dimension shifting or a time jump of some sort.
Time jump. That's what that sounds like to me. So
missing time, glitch in the Matrix. There's a lot of things there. Savannah, you opened a window.
Yep.
Step through. So,
weird.
Scary. I don't know what else to tell you except document. So hopefully we figure it out. Wow. I love those. You wanted more of those, Erika. They're coming.
Yes, and I love those. I love those. So keep them coming. And thank you, Savannah. It's not you. That's the universe. Okay.
Playing games.
That's another shirt. It's not you. It's the universe.
It's the universe. Yep. We need to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson about that. So, but anyway, all right. Let's see. Wondering if someone you know has had a similar experience. A couple of months ago, I had a conversation with my husband where he told me an old acquaintance of his had passed away. We'll call him Bill. I clearly remember the conversation we had. I asked who would take over his company and asked some other questions. I remember all his replies almost word for word. We didn't talk about it again. It wasn't someone he saw or talked to often. A few months passed. My husband mentions that he saw Bill today. What? Huh? Bill who? And he clarifies with the last name. I'm so confused because that person died. My husband looks at me like I'm crazy when I say that. And I cannot stop thinking about that very clear conversation we had. Caitlin, that is the definition of Mandela effect right there.
Exactly. That is completely a Mandela effect. And what we think is potentially the glitches in the Matrix, the dimension shifting, because give me a break. I've had that happen myself where I've had what I thought was conversations with people or know things. And then I ask and they're like, well, I didn't get a chance to tell you that yet. And I'm like, but you did. So.
Yeah, we were, it was funny. The guys from Red Letter Media who do a lot of fun YouTube stuff. They were talking about, they were convinced William Sadler had died for some reason. They're on a recent episode. They talked about, they were doing thing on the Star Trek Section 31 thing. And they were talking about William Sadler had played him on Deep Space Nine. They thought he had died. And then they realized it was actually Julian Sands who they were thinking about, and who had died, who played the Warlock many years ago, who sadly died, get lost wandering on a mountain. But that's what I think. It could have been something similar, but I think honestly, yes, you've swapped. They turned on the Hadron Collider again, and who knows? We all swapped again. So
yeah, agreed. It's weird. Yeah. So Savannah, no idea what happened to you, but thank you for telling us.
Yeah. Wow. And keep them coming, gang. Keep them coming. Jeez. All right. Let's see. Okay. My turn. Let's see. Not sure how to tell people this. Listen to the show, and Mark seems to give pretty solid advice to folks. Well, thank you. I think Erika does too.
Only Mark, apparently.
Nope is definitely a good response sometimes.
It's true.
And Bo, you have some great advice.
Listen, nope is the appropriate response in some of these situations.
Okay.
And Mark and I are like, go in there, go document it.
Don't poke the bear, but I'm all about taking pictures of the bear. Okay, so all right, let's get back to it. All right, so I don't know quite how to explain it. I was in foster care till I was 10, which so far has been half my life. I moved around quite a bit into some not very good places. Yeah, sadly, some people foster well, some people don't. Somewhere before I got adopted, it felt like I may have picked something up. Personally, I hope this can be explained as sleep paralysis. Is that what it sounds like? I have auditory hallucinations where it sounds like people are talking either to me or about me. I have been in a state where I was aware of my surroundings, albeit with a migraine attached and a tall hooded thing. Olive was just dark robes and has no face. I've seen it a few times, but it just kind of stands there and faces my direction as I sleep. It was the only things happening. I would immediately say sleep paralysis. The physical stuff that's happened, I moved around quite a bit since I've been adopted as well. So I'll just refer to the houses as numbers. House number 1, I've been home alone when the downstairs is flipped on at a full volume. That has scared me more than once. My sister's TV has done the same, but it didn't jump to full volume. I've heard really loud footsteps downstairs. My siblings and parents heard that too when they were wondering what it was. We actually called the police. They found nothing. I could have sworn I saw a little girl run upstairs, but I'm honestly unsure about that one. There are more, but they were rather minor. House 2, seeing a random dark figure in a mirror. Then as soon as I catch it, it's gone. I heard my dad call out to me from the living room to find he was not even in the house. My dad did the same, only in reverse. I was at school. I woke up to find my TV had parked itself on the ground. To this day, I'm unsure about that one or how it happened. The TV was undamaged. Oh, and growling when there was no animal nearby. Ooh. Let's see. House 3. I've never felt alone in the current house I'm in, even when I'm by myself. I've gone to the kitchen to find shattered glass from a few plates or cups. The current TV still does the weird thing where it turns on by itself. I've heard the footsteps again. Sometimes it even sounds like there are kids laughing. If it helps, I was born clinically dead, was able to be brought back, and spent the first month or so in the ICU. I don't have much information on that, as my biological mom is dead and my bio family doesn't mention it, only that I am a miracle baby. I was also addicted to drugs when I was born too, so maybe I'm just neurospicy. Any explanation would be greatly appreciated. Call me Crispy Bacon.
Oh, Crispy Bacon.
Yes.
My first thing is, I feel like that Crispy, that you can see the other side, that you have a touch with it, and it is probably because you were clinically dead. Yeah. I don't know that the drugs have anything to do with it, but I definitely think I've heard of people who've been dying and then get closer to that side of the veil. You know what I mean? Are dead or brought back to life, and they can see things. So I think you're just extra empathic, and maybe you do have an invisible friend. Like, now I use the friend term loosely because if you've ever seen the movie Drop Dead Fred, that is what I envision a lot of times as an invisible friend. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. It'll give you a very good idea of the whole TV thing.
So it's friend, maybe sarcastic, like friend, like
yeah,
like a friend that's not particularly nice to you, but you keep around.
Yeah.
Yes,
because you don't have a choice.
It definitely sounds like there's something attached to you or your family or something. It definitely sounds like there could be more to it. It also could be neurological. So definitely keep up with that and, get testing. It's what we're all doing. So, and we all do. It's never hurts, but also, again, it could just be preternatural stuff we don't understand. It doesn't sound like anything's very threatening except for TV getting knocked over. But again, growling isn't a good sign.
No.
But, that would be the only thing I'm concerned about. It doesn't sound like
any of the things besides the glasses crashing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're finding that, that's not a mental thing, right? Like that's
no,
not.
It's definitely physical.
Yeah. So the one thing you could also do is just tell whatever it is it needs to stop being destructive, that you don't mind it playing games, but it can't keep being destructive, or you're going to put it in a jar. Yeah. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And thank you, Crispy Bacon.
Thanks, Crispy. Hope you keep enjoying the show. So,
and keep sharing us stories. I love hearing about it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, keep us posted. All right, Erika.
Next one, because I know we only have a few more this episode, and we're going to have to catch up even more. But here we go.
Yeah.
So, hey, guys. This is a long story, kind of. Hello.
Hey.
I've lived in my current house in North Carolina for about 3 years. Sounds like I'm not too far from you all. Oh, great. So, creepy
Western
house
North Carolina.
outside. Yeah. When I first moved in, I had kind of weird encounters at night. I would be outside burning off tree limbs and things like that. I always felt like something was watching me. After the first few nights, I heard what sounded like someone calling for help, very muffled from the woods that surrounded my house. I shrugged it off. After a few times of that, I was walking by the tree line and looking for more wood to throw on the fire. Keep in mind, this is about 1 or 2 a.m. And I had a 30-30 shell thrown at me. Ooh. I don't own a 30-30, so I thought it was kind of weird. Anyway, this goes on for a few months until my ex came in and we brought our kids to the house to live. My ex had chickens and a pig that got out of their enclosure and were killed. She threw the carcasses into the woods. I don't know why she did that either. Okay. But after that, all of the spooky stuff stopped. No eerie feelings, no noises, no nothing.
Well, you made an offering.
Yeah, made an offering. I like that. And it sounds like, we've heard of, the old man of the woods, Sasquatch, is giving presents in exchange for things. So maybe it was like, hey, here's some stuff. I need some things in return.
Yep.
Okay. Now, fast forward to last month. I've since gotten a new girlfriend, and she takes our dogs out in the early a.m. hours before she leaves for work. I leave the house at 4:15 a.m., so it's probably around 5:30 or so when she's out with them. Twice in the last 2 months, she's seen what's described as something large and pale in the wood line. The first time it was last month, it saw her and hurried off. This morning, she had been walking the dogs. Our large dog was barking like crazy, and she saw this white creature again. She said it moved like it was scuttling, larger than a deer on all fours, but it was almost what a human looks like running on all fours.
Ew.
As soon as the dogs got a good look at it, they began trying to run back to the house. She and the dogs flew back inside and she got ready for work. She didn't see anything else, but so far I'm wondering what's up. What could we do? What does it sound like? All the other encounters I've had never saw a physical form, only noises and eerie feelings. According to her, this thing moved closer to the house up to the wood line. I'm just kind of lost. I doubt shouting at it would help. Any advice or theories would be welcome, Sid.
Yeah.
Well, Sid, my advices are my usual. Put railroad spikes. If you're up near us, then you can go to one of the antique stores, find some railroad spikes, put them at the 4 corners of the property. But I would get a jar of peanut butter, take off the, and slightly loosen it, not all the way, and just start putting jars of peanut butter out there, because it sounds like what we have heard is there are some of these Sasquatchy kind of creatures that are white and gray. White things, I think they're called, right?
Yep.
You have to take the paper off, right? Like you take the paper off and then put the lid back on.
Loosen the lid, take the paper off, close the lid back up, just not as tight. So that way raccoons and other things don't get into it unless they really, really are persistent. But it's to see if something will open it up. And usually you'll see thumbprints and other things, giant thumbprints in them and stuff. But
see if that helps.
Yeah, see if that helps. It sounds like you gave an offering and it left for a little while and now it's back.
He's like, can you throw me some more stuff?
Yeah, some more food. I mean, now we all know this area, bears, other things in this area. There are some bobcats out in the woods.
They're not white.
But they can be. But they're albino of everything. There was an albino deer in Western North Carolina not too long ago over Cherokee. They are, they're talking about it as a sign and all that of good things. But crawling around on all fours, stuff like that. That sounds like some of the
scuttling.
Recent things. Yeah, scuttling is not a good thing. So,
and I would also say, if you want to, reach out to Tim Dills and those guys and have them come out and investigate, because they'll be able to, find signs and fun stuff like that maybe you wouldn't see. So those are our recommendations.
All right, I'm gonna hit this last story then. But good luck, Sid, and keep us posted, and definitely get in touch. We're happy to help. We are. It sounds like we're neighbors.
Yep.
So, all right, yeah, we got one semi-short one, and then we'll wrap it up. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
Sounds
All right. Oh, this is fun. Pardon, but my English is not my native language. Bonjour from France.
Bonjour.
Yeah, hey. Well, another wonderful country over there. So, anyone has ever heard or experienced waking up with in one or both hands like dried blood, big brown colored spot, and it's not going to wash away for several days?
Oh.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Found
No.
on the internet that a woman did not have the same life context and age or sex as my witness. I have details so that I don't have any questions, and I'm trying that my message is to not to receive questions, but to have answers. Thank you for answering that if you are aware of this kind of phenomenon. I describe a few details so that you understand that there is a lot to dig into. You wake up, you see these stains in your hands, no trace on the bed cover or bed. You get up and notice that the trace, 2 drops on the side of the foot that have dried without ever even having time to finish flowing to the sole of the foot. Therefore, to have the trace drops as if falling from your hand, I would necessarily have been standing, except my witness does not suffer from any sleepwalking. He is also a light sleeper and would wake up quickly in case of suspicious noises such as footsteps or others due to his profession. He has no memory of what happened during the night, and yet he had to be standing outside of his bed or even the house to leave no trace of this brown liquid that stains his hands or anywhere else. To recap and make it simple, here are the 3 points to remember. 1, no trace in the bed or the house. 2, drip spot on the foot, which shows that he must have been standing, otherwise it would not flow down. And 3, these stains itself, which do not fade even after 4 or more hand washes. If you don't keep that in mind, it couldn't help me. Another detail is that the next day or the day after, his wife also woke up, but the difference is she only had it in one of her hands. And when she closed her palm slightly, we could see a circle in the center, as if she had squeezed a foam ball filled with her brown liquid, which explains the many dripping between the fingers. And here's an extra little detail that didn't necessarily help, but that shows that this is not limited to the individual. Dominique. Wow, Dominique. Thanks for reaching out. It sounds like you are doing an investigation of this for someone,
Yeah.
and are reaching out for answers. So, wow. My immediate thought was stigmata, like I'm sure you were.
Yeah,
thinking,
that's what I thought too.
because you were talking about hands dripping blood and all that won't wash away. That is very common with that. But and again, the
I
odds.
also thought rust, like maybe rust, like on their bed or something, and they were like holding on to the bed frame.
And if they're not sure if they're leaving the house, this is what I would suggest. Put tape on the doorways. Put scotch tape on the doorways. This is one way to indicate whether people are sleepwalking, because the tape, if you do it tight on the doorway, will be broken or removed when they wake up. So that'll tell you if they're moving around the house. As far as these, I think we need to call out for listeners to tell us what they think this might be. But it does sound like something else is working, and maybe it's Fae. Who knows? Like, that's doing that, because it sounds like dried blood, but at the same time, if it was actually organic, it wouldn't be staining the way it is, like that.
You would be able to scrub it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This and it could be some sort of other phenomena manifesting, like that you're getting what is it? It's I've heard about it where you go to a haunted location and you'll like touch a wall, to listen for things, and you make sure it's clean and all that. But then the next day, your fingertips have these strange stains on them that weren't there the night before, and they won't go away for a couple of days. It's some sort of residue of some sort, like almost an ectoplasm type thing that doesn't show up instantly. It shows up days later. So it could be something like that. There are even neurological things that will make stains appear on you. So it could be that, but this is interesting. I wish I had an answer. But Dominique, it sounds like you're at the forefront on this, so keep us posted.
Yes, let us know what you find, but have them try the tape trick because it'll at least tell you if they're leaving the house.
And again, set up some cameras, watch them sleep. I hate to say that,
but not in a creepy way.
Not in the creepy way, not in the dead way, but have them set up a motion camera in the room or something. You never know. So
agreed.
Wow.
Well, this has been so much fun. Listeners, thank you, travelers. Oh my gosh, we love these stories. I'm again sufficiently creeped out, but guess what? We recorded this during the day, like I said I was going to.
Yeah, you're smart. Smart
so
call.
I'm going to do my own cleansing so I don't think about this tonight. But Mark, Bo, I'm going to say this. Mark, take us away.
All right. Well, patrons, thank you for supporting us. People, thank you, listeners, for listening in and supporting our sponsors. Oh my gosh, thank you for these letters. These stories are amazing. And we've got many more pages to go through. So we will be doing another one of these ASAP, but keep them coming. We'll get to them all. I'm sure some of you, we are like, where's my story? Well, we try to get to them all. We don't get to everyone, but we do as many as we can. But thank you so much. And if you going through, need something that's scaring you or just a question, that's what we're here for. We're happy to help. We are not experts, but we are, we are well-versed. That's the best I can say is we have many connections, so we can help as best we can. All right. All that said, travelers, all I can say is when you're out there at night and you hear something calling your name, or if you see a shadow figure and it's running up the stairs, hopefully it's just a big dog from next door. Hopefully it's something easily explained. But if it's not, just remember it's something preternatural. The universe is working in mysterious ways, and hopefully we figure it all out. And just be glad you're not working for Disney anymore. And we'll see you on the other side.